It's Thursday, January 5th, 2023, and this is the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your host, Marcelo Pico, editor-in-chief of Talk Film Society, here to tell you, listeners, Happy New Year, Happy 2023. And also I'm here to tell you it's another episode of the Talk Film Society podcast, a special one. It's the thrilling conclusion of Talk Film Society's Best Lead Actresses of 2022. And with me to finish this capper of a duology is my co-host, Marcus Irving. Hello, Marcus.
How you doing, Pico? Mr. Pico, how are all of our listeners doing in this new year?
They're doing great.
Hope it's going well for you so far. Hope it's going well for you, keeping on.
Well said, Marcus. Well said.
Thank you.
I also hope it's going to go well going on for our listeners. What a better way to start the year than to finish our conversation from last week, which seems now like it's been a month ago, but it's actually been a week ago.
Yeah, was it literally just a week ago? I remember it. So this is part 2 of our best actresses because I was sick during our best actresses part 1, and so we ended up cutting it off midway through, and then you got sick, so we didn't get to record it. Right?
Yeah, I mean
now we're here. We're all way better.
Yeah, we're here. I feel I'm at like 85%, so I'm good to record.
And that's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all we need. And Marcelo at 85% is better than a Marcus at 110%, I say.
But yeah, as long as it all evens out to 200%, right? That's the math, right? It all checks out.
Yeah. So you're at 85. I got to be 115 here.
Yeah, exactly. Enough chit-chat, Marcus. Enough small talk. Let's get to the big talk. Marcus, I know last episode. Did you listen back to last episode? Because you tend to listen back to these episodes.
Yeah, I did, and I did. Yeah, I did listen back to it.
What's the letter grade you give it?
I would say that last episode is better than I thought it would be. We're gonna go with a B-. How about
B-. Okay, I like that.
B-.
I like that
you like that.
Yeah. It's pretty positive, I think, from what it could have been. Could have been really bad.
No, my memory of that conversation is that my brain was all foggy from having a migraine, and I was not able to really place my thoughts into words correctly, and I felt like I was leaving you hanging a little bit on some stuff that I probably should have been elaborating on. Especially during our whale conversation, and then when we actually started talking about these lovely leading ladies that we have to speak about, I just felt like I had nothing to say about any of them, even though I know I have things to say. So that was the main reason we cut it off early last time. And listening back, that's mostly correct. But Marcelo, you're a good editor. I'm sure you pieced things together to make them work better. To make it sound like I had things to say when I didn't. Cut out some pauses I was probably having.
Well, I'll say in my memory, and I don't listen back to these ever, so that's something to keep in mind, folks. Good. I don't go back and listen to this stuff. That's for you folks to do, and for Marcus to do. But luckily, I have a good memory. And yeah, for my memory, it wasn't that bad. Sure, I did a lot more talking. Luckily, I spent 20 minutes talking about the whale, which nobody wanted, but I had to fill in the space there. But we got that out of the way. No more whale talk this week. What have you been up to in the week since we recorded? I hopefully you're feeling better, Marcus. And did you watch any more movies in the time we last talked?
Yeah, let me check that. I did my last little year-end wrap-up movie, which turned out to be See How They Run, which I don't think is going to factor into much of my decision-making here for these awards, but still, it was nice to see it.
It's a nice little movie.
Yeah. I started the new year off with seeing some new-to-me movies. I'm starting a Batman marathon. I watched Batman 66. I watched, and I also watched Near Dark, because Shudder added Near Dark, and I was happy to see that they did that. I could finally cross it off my list, because it's kind of like a hard-to-get movie until Shudder added it, because it's kind of like a here and there kind of thing. It pops up and then goes away, and the Blu-ray's out of print or whatever.
I remember. I think I rented that from Netflix back when they did that sort of thing on DVD. Like 14 years ago, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure the math checks out. And then haven't seen it for the longest time. And then I was lucky enough to see it in a theater on 35 millimeter. I think last year. It's a crazy great experience. I'm glad you got to see it, Marcus. And I hope more people do see it because it's a good movie. I think that's
Shudder adding it is very cool.
That goes without saying.
A wild fun Bill Paxton performance. Yeah,
good old Catherine Bigelow. Good old an Oscar contender herself, Oscar winner herself,
coming in to steal James's thunder.
I mean, James, he already had an Oscar, right? And she definitely needed one. I'm not being silly when I say that.
No, I'm not talking about the Oscars. I'm talking about right now with with all the Avatar talk, and then she comes out, wham, Near Dark on Shudder, bam, Strange Days on HBO.
So you're saying Catherine Bigelow is having a moment bigger than James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water.
I think so. Yeah, 2 of her old movies
have hit streaming services,
being put on 2 different streaming services.
The first week of January,
both of which seem to be, both of which are in precarious positions right now.
Yeah,
both streaming services.
Yeah, and also
definitely bigger than the movie that's made $1.4 billion in like 3 weeks.
And it has already become the biggest movie of 2022, surpassing Top Gun Maverick. You're saying that is on the bottom rung compared to HBO Max putting up Strange Days in the wrong aspect ratio. So that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. By the way, HBO Max, get your shit together, okay? I know Strange Days is one of those, like Marcus was saying, kind of hard to come by streaming releases, licensing fees or whatever the shit. Put it in the proper aspect ratio. I can't even say it right. Put it in the proper aspect ratio, HBO Max. You sons of bitches. It makes you
so mad you can't formulate your words.
No. Meanwhile, I saw my own Blind Spot, a movie that I crossed off the list vigorously this past weekend. I saw Jean Dilemman 23Q de Commerce 1080 Brussels.
Yeah, the best movie ever made.
Yeah, according to Sight and Sound, the critics poll, the best movie ever made above Citizen Kane, Vertigo, In the Mood for Love, Tokyo Story, above all those movies, you have Jean Dilemman.
Tokyo Drift.
Above all that stuff. 3 hours and 20 minutes sitting in a theater at the Austin Film Society. And I'll tell you this, Marcus. I know you like to stick your nose up and make fun of movies like this.
No.
I know you.
Go on, I'll let you finish.
I know you're like, oh, French cinema? Oh, a movie about a woman? No, thank you. A movie made, 30 years before I was born? No, thanks. No, okay. You can say all that, Marcus, okay? But it's actually amazing. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting when I sat down to watch this very long movie that I'm told is the best movie ever made. It definitely wasn't what it ended up being. I can put it into words. I can try to, but I'm not going to succeed here in this forum. Okay, I'll just say go watch it. I'm telling you, Marcus, carve out 3.5 hours. I know it's going to be tedious. And I'm talking to Marcus and also the listeners who may be hesitant about watching this movie, okay? Sure, it's 3 hours and 20 minutes. Sure, it's tedious. Sure, it's repetitive, but stick with it. By the third...
Is it one of those, like...
Hold on, I'll say one more thing.
Contemplative, like, slices of life kind of things.
Here's the thing, okay? Things happen in it that I didn't expect... And I'll only say that it's a rewarding experience because it's... Oh, how do I say this? Sure, like we see 3 days in the life of this housewife doing daily tasks like making coffee, cooking dinner, folding laundry, But as the movie progresses, as the third hour rolls along, it rewards you in like watching these tasks, because by the final act, I don't know, it upends itself and it tells you, oh, maybe not everything is what it seems to be. But that's what I'll say. Again, try to carve out 3.5 hours. Stick with it. It's one of those. You have to stick with it. And I think by the end, you'll be surprised, and hopefully you'll be shaken to the core like I was by the end of it. But there you go.
Yeah,
it was
like you said. I'm not a fan of the French. I'm not a fan of
of women.
Women trying to lead movies and direct them. Like I think that's wrong. Yeah. But I think I will give this one a chance.
and who knows?
The best movie ever made. And that's decided.
Yeah, and who knows, folks? Marcus and I could do a commentary for this movie for a Patreon commentary series. So
hey, look,
keep an eye out for that.
I guess, yeah, that could happen.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I saw. That's what Marcus watched. I mean, but when it comes to like the best of 2022, I personally didn't see anything new since the last time we talked. I rewatched some good old faves from this past year. I saw Babylon again. I saw Confess Fletch again. I don't know what. And then I saw like some classics I hadn't seen. I saw My Cousin Vinny for the first time. Speaking of Oscar winners, good old Marissa Tomei in her Oscar-winning performance in My Cousin Vinny. I've never seen it until just this past weekend, so I crossed that off my list.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's
good stuff.
It's really good. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Is that it? Is that all the small talk we could fit into the first segment?
Yeah, I think that should be all of our small talk. I think we should head over into as you like to say, the meat of this sandwich, Marcelo.
Yes. So yeah, last time,
the lovely lady meat.
Okay, don't do that. Please do not objectify our the main topic of our episode here. Yeah, so
all right.
Mark's just like, okay, fine, I won't do it. Last time we talked, I went through my picks. We did the Gold Derby thing, which I looked for anybody who's wondering, because oh fuck, I forgot the spiel. I should have done that at the top. Again, I'm bad, folks. I'm at 85%. Okay, and Marcus really should have stopped me earlier, like 15 minutes ago.
I know, but remember what I said, where my 115 is equal to your 85, kind of. So, like, things are slipping both of our brains.
Okay, so go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about awards, so you can vote in our award show, in the Talk Film Society Awards. It's the 10th one. This is the 10th time we're doing it. And now you can vote. The ballot is there. Vote in 20 categories.
Tons of categories.
Yeah.
Everything is up to you, the people, what gets nominated, and eventually what wins.
Exactly. So this is maybe the most interesting and the most important aspect of all this. Right now, everything is on the table. You can vote for anything or anybody. In 20 categories, it's wide open.
One thing I like to say is, like we have a lot of categories, a lot like mirroring the Oscars. We have Best Actor, performances, a bunch of different categories like that. Sound effects, whatever. Do we do sound effects? Actually,
I don't.
We do sound editing, right?
I don't think we do any sound.
Don't we do sound? Okay, never mind. Not sound, but we do visual effects.
Yeah, we do visual effects.
but we do visual effects, we do song, score, we do writing. So, like, look, even if there's, like, let's just say you're, like, a person that, like, maybe you feel like, oh, I didn't see that many movies this year, I don't really want to vote. So I get that mindset. No, vote. Like, we want to hear even if you only have a couple things to write in, it'll count. We want to hear it. Like literally, maybe you're just a Lady Gaga fan and you want to write in her song from Top Gun Maverick.
Do it.
And that's it. Like, that's fine. Go ahead and do that.
There's no limit.
The ballots too.
There's no limit. Well, I mean, there's a limit to like how many how many you put in each category. Like, you can put up to 10 films in the best film slots, and then in each other slot you have 5 slots to fill. In each other category, you have 5 slots.
But there's no minimum. Like, you don't have to fill all 5. 10.
That's my point. You can just put in 1 in each category, and it'll be fine. And I can just quickly roll through the 20 categories real fast. Here you go. You have best series. You have supporting actor, supporting actress. You have actor, you have actress. You have acting ensemble. You have original song. You have score. You have screenplay, adapted and original. You have visual effects. You have production design. You have editing, cinematography, director, international film, animated film, documentary, independent film, and best film of the year. So there you go. Those 20 categories. And yeah, it's 20. It's a lot. And do the math. That's like, what, 19 times 5, and then add another 10. You have all those slots to fill. You don't need to fill all of them, but you have the option to. But you have until the 13th of January to fill out those that first ballot and turn it in. And then we'll announce the nominees a few days after that. But that's it. Yeah, go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards to fill out that ballot. That's it. Okay. Speaking of filling out our ballots, I mean, last week I went through my picks. We also went through the Gold Derby picks of Best Lead Actress, because this is the Part 2 discussion. We did Part 1 last week.
Yeah, and I think we should refresh people's minds and maybe go back through what your picks were. We probably don't have to do the Gold Derby again, but that's exclusive to Part 1. But I think we should just really quick go back through what your picks were.
I do want to, because we haven't done this before. We haven't looked at a category in a week's time and Gold Derby to see what's changed. I wanted to quickly do that. I'm not going to
yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to do all. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the Gold.
Any notable changes?
Yeah, I'll inform you and the listeners of any changes on Gold Derby in the lead actress category. As a reminder, last week the Gold Derby board had Cate Blanchett at number 1, and then Michelle Yeoh, Michelle Williams, Danielle Deadwyler, and Viola Davis in the top 5 slots. Has that changed in a week? No, it hasn't. That top 5 remains the same.
Okay.
And then going past that, last week at number 6 you had Margot Robbie, then Olivia Colman, Naomi Ackie, Ana de Armas, and then number 10 Jennifer Lawrence. Has that changed in a week? Yes. So Margot Robbie is still at 6. Olivia Colman still at 7. But then here's where it gets tricky in the lead actress fight.
All right.
In 8, 9, and
Something
10.
saucy.
Yeah, in 8, 9, and 10, Ana de Armas jumps up to 8. So she's like going up there. Okay. At number 9, Vicky Krieps has jumped up to 9.
Interesting.
Yeah. And at number 10, Naomi Ackie. This week. Last week she was at 9. So Jennifer Lawrence has been pushed out of the top 10. That's the big story. So sorry,
J-Law.
Sorry.
Maybe next year.
Your chances are slimming up. That's how you say it.
Now that you're out of retirement, you're going to have plenty more chances, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, in her second phase of her career. I mean, for God's sake, she already has an Oscar, right? I mean, she's one of our greatest actresses. Her comeback doesn't need to be like, although comeback. I mean, she was in like
explosive,
I mean, she was in. I just remember this. People are saying, oh, she's back, but she's been back for over a year now. She was in last year's Don't Look Up, which I completely forgot about until I had a discussion about it. A few days ago.
Definitely a noteworthy film.
Noteworthy. Did you see that, Marcus? Did you see Don't Look Up?
Oh. Yes, of course I did. I actually did. And
no joke.
I wish I didn't. Bad movie.
Bad movie. At least we can agree on that. Don't Look Up is a bad movie. I think we can all agree It was way up its own ass.
McKay's worst work, I think, by far.
I do think so. It makes me look kindly on what's the one he did with Dick Cheney? Was that just called
Vice.
Dick? Oh, sorry, Vice.
Vice, yeah.
It should have been called Dick. It's a better title. Next, okay, my picks. And this is where we last left. I said my picks.
Yes.
And I remember going to Marcus and saying, "What do you think?" And Marcus had no words. And then I said, "Marcus, what are your picks?" And then Marcus hit the button to end the show. So that's where he left off. So just to reiterate my picks, and I'll go through these quickly. And here's where Marcus, at the end of my rundown, will give more informed opinions about my picks. Hopefully, unless he wants to do that joke where after I say everything, he just goes, "Okay, that's great." That'd be funny too. So here are my picks for best lead actress performances of 2022. Okay, honorable mentions. I have 3. I have Greta Gerwig in White Noise. That's not just because I love Greta Gerwig as a person, but I think she's actually an amazing actress, and she does an interesting performance in White Noise, now on Netflix. Michelle Williams in Fabelmans. She puts her own Michelle Williams sauce on it. It's a very peculiar thing she's doing, but I like it a lot. And the other honorable mention is Lea Seydoux in Crimes of the Future. An amazing David Cronenberg female character in an excellent movie, which I think has gone overlooked at the end of this year. Nobody's talking about Crimes of the Future, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I love that movie. It's been number 2 of the year. And my top 5 lead actresses, I surprised Marcus last week when I said my number 5 was Lauren LaVera in Terrifier 2. I think it's an excellent. Her character is an amazing character in a horror film that is in my top 10 of the year. Her performance in particular is why I like the movie a lot. So she gets the number 5 slot. Speaking of great horror female performances, number 4, Mia Goth in Pearl. What she does there is incredible. Certain scenes in particular, some of the best acting I've seen in a very long time. And then number 3, 2, and 1. Like, this is like where the race is, and these are my very basic picks. Number 3, Cate Blanchett in Tar. Of course, Tar is Tar. And she might win the Oscar. Number 2, Margot Robbie in Babylon. Now, for me, having seen this movie 4 times now, I cannot deny the power of Margot Robbie. I hope she gets nominated for an Oscar. If she doesn't, then fuck you, Academy. Once again, because it is one of the best performances of the year. My second favorite of the year, personally. And, of course, number 1, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She does everything in that movie. She does everything everywhere. It puts her
all at once.
It puts her skills on screen. And she does, I don't know, I mean, her martial arts skills, her drama, her comedy skills, like everything's on there. And I cannot think of a better performance this year than her in that. So there you go. Those are my picks. Marcus, I'm going to turn to you. What do you think?
Okay, Marcelo, I'm not going to do the joke. I'm going to be sincere here. I think you have a good list. You do have a good list. Like you put yourself down. You said it's a basic top 3, but it's basic for a reason. They're all deserving. I have not seen Babylon yet. I am shocked that you have seen it 4 times. I don't think I could sit in the theater for almost 13 hours and see it. And see that same movie, even if I did like it. But look, I respect it. I will unfortunately probably have to wait. Maybe it'll get like a Best Picture re-release or something, and I'll see it then if it gets nominated. So. But let's see. Michelle Yeoh, she's not going to show up on my list. She will be showing up a lot later, so like we'll have time to talk about her. What were your other picks? Your Terrifier 2 woman. I have not seen Terrifier 2 yet, but I did pick up the Best Buy 4K at your suggestion, Marcelo. I cashed in a gift card.
Oh, wow.
That I've had in my wallet for years. Picked that and Clerks 3 up. And I will be watching it here soon. I wish I would have got it in before the end of the year, just in case it does make any sort of lists, but it's a little daunting to saddle on up to a 2.5 hour unsettling horror movie. Upsetting is the word I want, because the first movie was upsetting. But I mean, I'll talk about it later. I did end up doing that for another horror movie. Cate Blanchett and Tar. I have not finished Tar. Marcelo, you were very nice to gift me a Christmas present of the digital copy of Tar, and I appreciated that very much. We watched about a half hour the day you gave it to me, and then I think my mom just got tired or something, and we tapped out, and we haven't gotten back to it. But look, I was thoroughly engaged by it. And did I miss a pick of your top 5 there?
No, I think you got them all. Did you mention Mia Goth?
Mia Goth, yeah. Mia Goth.
Or Maya, I don't know how
she was close to my honorable mentions. I did enjoy her in that movie, but not quite on the love train for her or that movie. So didn't quite make mine, but I appreciate what she did there.
All right, interesting. This is the feedback I was hoping for last week, which we missed out on because Marcus was under the weather. But we got it, folks. We got him.
Yeah, there it is. And here are my 5 picks, Marcelo.
Marcus, I was just going to ask you, Marcus, what are your top lead actress performances of 2022? Here we go. We've been waiting a week for it, folks.
Yes.
And now Marcus is going to reveal his picks. Marcus, the stage is yours.
Yes. So, Marcelo, I'm going to tell you straight up, I only have 1 through 4 set in stone.
Oh.
5 I'm still lingering on, and I'm just going to make it here in the moment. You know, I'm just going to live in the moment.
Wow.
So I'll say my honorable mentions. Really, really dug Janelle Monáe in Knives Out 2.
Yes.
Glass Onion.
Okay, can we pause here? I want to let you finish, but I just want to say this. I don't think we've talked about Glass Onion on mic yet. I think you mentioned you saw it last week, but I didn't really dig into your thoughts on Glass Onion. So, and maybe this will be the place where we talk about spoilers for Glass Onion. Finally, been waiting. Seems like 2 months to talk about it.
People have had a good time to watch it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's doing very well. I read today, 3rd most watched movie ever on Netflix.
I saw that too. So perhaps here in the middle of the podcast, we can have a minute or two to talk about Glass Onion.
Sure, yeah.
But first, before we go into spoiler territory, I'm going to warn people when the spoilers are going to happen. Before we dive into that, Marcus, please keep talking about Janelle Monáe in Glass Onion.
Janelle Monáe, a very confident and fierce performance for the first half. And then minor spoilers here, she does change mannerisms a lot in the second half in a way that I just simply was not expecting. It really shocked me. And she becomes basically an entirely new character. And I thought it was very cool the way it happened. Very fun reveal, very fun total change in character, and then you can go back and you can kind of see those bits of that character in the first half, and it's kind of exciting how the movie shows that to you in flashbacks. Very cool. I dug them. So I'll say in general, I dug the movie a lot. I had a lot of fun. We did a commentary on Knives Out, and I think I came to the conclusion that I do really like the movie. It's fun popcorn entertainment to me. I would say this one is even more fun, even more popcorn entertainment to me. I really did enjoy it. I think it surpasses Knives Out pretty handily. The whole ensemble fantastic. And the core mystery, I've been seeing a lot of people kind of doing a dig on people who watch mystery movies, like just trying to figure out the mystery or whatever. This was spurred on by a Nazi trying to say his bad opinions on the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's the appeal of a mystery to me. I watch because I want to try to figure it out. And like, look, it's not really a mystery that's able to be figured out, but I don't think that's a cheat or anything. Like, I love the way the movie reveals it to me. And but it is fun just to be watching it and looking for, hey, is that a clue? Is that a clue? I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think what you just said that's what I wanted to hear from you, Marcus. At this point, I don't think we even need to talk about spoilers because I think you said it, and I'm going to agree with you on most of the things you said, including just why. I mean, I can't even remember if I was even a part of it, but I may have maybe you retweeted something about, the Nazi you mentioned who had problems with Glass Onion being a mystery movie. Which I'm like, it's a mystery movie. It's supposed to be deceiving. It's supposed to be something exactly. you are like figuring out as it goes, and it's supposed to toss twists and turns at you. Why are you?
Yeah, I don't know what else you want out of a movie like that.
Exactly, and that's what Glass Onion is for me.
There's the appeal of like, you can get that murder mystery, like you can get that mystery type. And I think it's very satisfying, like just watching an episode of Law and Order SVU or whatever, where you're like, you have a tight little 40-minute long mystery where it's like a character that got introduced in the first act. Suddenly, like, they know more than they let on, or they are the person that they've been looking for the whole time. And like that type of mystery, I still think it's valid as like fun entertainment or whatever, like True Detective season 1, where like they show you the killer in like episode 2 or something in like a one-off thing, and it's like it's so obvious this guy is the killer that like it kind of throws you off, but that like it's too obvious. but so you kind of let it go, and then they bring it back and it's like, oh, it is him. Like that type of shit is fun, but like this, again, you said it, it's a mystery. The movie can play tricks on you.
Yes.
Like that's just as much a part of the fun of it to me.
Yes.
Like I don't want to be in control the whole time. What is that?
It's one thing to walk into Death on the Nile and look at it and in the first 10 minutes. But here's the comparison I want to make. I think I've told this story in the podcast too. 10 minutes into Death in the Nile, after all the characters were revealed, I was on a date while I was watching this movie, and I made a big show of, writing down on a piece of paper who I thought the killer was. I folded it up, having never read the book, having never seen the previous adaptations of Death in the Nile.
Don't tell me. I still haven't watched it.
Okay, but I wrote it down, I folded it up, and then at the end of the movie, I was like, look, I got it. I figured it out. That's fun. Sure, but Glass Onion is something else completely. Glass Onion, sure, in the first half, you kind of are like, okay, what's going on? Is there, like, where exactly is the mystery here? You can try to figure out, you can see the clues for what they are. And then halfway through, no, it's something else. And then you're like, oh, that's the real mystery. So, yes, it's not straightforward, like even Knives Out, which this is where I disagree with you on, and we can disagree as gentlemen. I love Glass Onion, sure, but I love Knives Out, a bit better. To me, that's a bit more refined. I like the cast a bit more, but I still love Glass Onion a lot. And Glass Onion is like so different from Knives Out too, because yes, like as I was saying, like Knives Out seems to be more of like a straightforward murder mystery, while like Glass Onion is really that second half is where things are like, oh, this is not only like a murder mystery, but also like a let's change how you perceive the movie. Rian Johnson, good job.
Yeah, I hope he makes the third one, and like I think now knowing more what to expect, I think I'll have like a totally different vision going into that third movie, and I hope he can subvert it he can subvert my expectations even more.
I think he's a pretty good filmmaker. I think we can make that argument.
Pretty good, sure.
Have you seen Brick, Marcus?
I've seen Brick, yeah.
Yeah.
I have. It was a long time ago, but I have seen Brick.
Yeah. I think we may have gone through this Johnson conversation before, but
whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my my honorable mentions. Janelle Monáe in Knives Out, or in fucking Glass Onion. I'm sorry, in
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
A Knives Out mystery. I'm going to echo your honorable mention with Léa Seydoux. Absolutely, just wild performance, like really seductive and weird, and like I really dug her in that movie. She was my favorite part of Crimes of the Future, a movie I wish I liked more, but like if I had to pick out the things I loved about it, like there are plenty of them, and they mainly have to do with the actors' performances. Kristen Stewart and Viggo Mortensen really dug all the performances. It's a weird movie, and everybody in there got that. And I think my final honorable mention, I'm going to say Aubrey Plaza in Emily the Criminal.
Oh, yes. Nice pick.
The movie, I liked it quite a bit. I was engaged by the story and stuff and plot, and I think it's a well-made movie. And it felt very much like an Aubrey Plaza statement movie. She's like, I'm an actor, and I'm not that goofy character that everybody associates me with.
April on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I'm not April. I'm not even like the, what was her, like that pool movie, The Do-Over or whatever. Not The Do-Over. The To-Do List?
The To-Do List? What is this?
The To-Do List, right? It's like a sex comedy thing. I don't know. She works at a pool. It's a good movie. But anyway, it's like I don't necessarily have to be this comedy person. I am an actor. And I think she pulled that off. She proved it. Not in a totally obnoxious way or anything like that. That kind of statement can come off. Very good. Kind of understated performance. She kind of goes all over the place. You kind of like wonder what her motivations are. Sometimes you kind of don't know whether to root for her or not. Very good stuff. So
by the way,
I'm getting into my top 5 now.
Breaking news. Yes, the To-Do List 2013. I'm sure I've heard of it, but I just forgot about it. You're right, Marcus, starring Aubrey Plaza. Have not seen it, but I'll just say this. I like the movie she's been making the last few years. Sort of like your point of like, oh, I'm an actress. I'm trying to not only like veer away from the purely comedic characters I played before, but doing something interesting with like these independent movies. And like Emily the Criminal was, I think, the best of her work recently. Of like, oh, I can do this. And I could be excellent at it, and not only like a sort of like take me seriously sort of thing, but a very much like here's my range and here's what I can do as a performer.
Her accent's really cool in the movie.
Yeah,
her accent's really good.
But yeah, there you go, solid pick. All right, now what's your number 5?
My number five. I'm going to give a shout out to Amber Midthunder from Prey.
Oh, nice.
I dug Prey a lot, and this is a very physical role. She had it looked like she did a lot of stunts and stuff. It's a movie. She had to speak multiple languages. It's not the most it's not the deepest performance in the world, but I think as a performance of like doing one thing, being like a hardy warrior, I think she pulled that off perfectly. I don't know if you have any words to say about her or Prey.
I think she's very good in that movie. I think the movie's very good. I don't know how I feel about it being just a streaming movie. It's like, sure. I'm sure
that's upsetting.
I'm sure plenty of people got a chance to see it that maybe wouldn't have seen it if it initially came out in theaters. But I don't know. It would have eventually made it to Hulu anyway. I kind of wish I'd seen that in a theater. Would it have changed the perception of that movie for me? Would I have liked it even more seeing it in a theater? Maybe. But that's just me. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. I just think it's like very good. I just wish I'd seen it first in a theater. But I think she's excellent in it, though. So it's a good pick.
I think this is a debut performance, is it not?
I think so.
Certainly debut for like a lead big movie performance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, my 4 that I had set in stone. Marcelo, this was a movie I told you at the end of our Best Actor conversation. Or maybe it was Best Supporting Actor? Yeah, it was Best Supporting Actor because this person got brought up. Tim Roth was brought up for Resurrection, and I said I've never heard of it, but I would watch the movie by the time that we were recording Best Actress, and I lived up to that. And guess what? I loved Resurrection, and I loved Rebecca Hall in Resurrection. This is a performance that's kind of like she's dealing with a lot of psychological trauma and PTSD, and I feel like it comes off in a very authentic way without overplaying it or making it melodramatic. And her the way she like lashes out at people and stuff, like that's very on the nose, and how people are very, very accurate, and how people don't necessarily want, or how like nobody, it seems like in her life really seems to care about her or trust her, or they all push her away when she's like really in need. A movie that walks a tightrope, I think, very deftly. And her playing against Tim Roth is just fantastic. Because if I could go back in time, I'd probably put Tim Roth in my supporting actor category, because he's just playing the most fucking evil dude you have ever seen, but he's doing it in a so understated way that like it's so like villainous and so fucked up, and like her combating against Tim Roth, like playing off of him, like it is a match made in heaven. It's really, really perfect.
It's interesting that if you had a time machine, you'd go back and put Tim Roth on your best supporting actor list, and you wouldn't kill Hitler. That's interesting, Marcus. But no, I agree with you. I think Rebecca Hall, I think Tim Roth are excellent in that movie. Rebecca Hall didn't make my list, but she was in the running because, like, how could she not be in the conversation every time she makes a movie now? Like, she was always giving her everything in every performance she's in, especially ones like this in Resurrection, where she just it's just so dark and so menacing on her own. And her monologue, which I think has been mentioned, I see on Twitter people mentioning it, and I'm sure it's a big reason why she's on your list. But there's a monologue she does in the middle of the movie where she just goes through certain things that happened to her in her past, and it's just, you know, similar to Mia Goth and Pearl. It's like, you know, one long take, just a camera on her delivering this monologue, and you're just mesmerized. And yeah, one of the best performers of our age.
Saying some of the most messed up shit you've ever heard. And she's so, man, it's great.
Yeah.
My number 3, I'm going with Michelle Williams for Being the Fabelmans.
Oh, wow.
Now, Marcelo, you said that you thought it was kind of an off-the-wall, weird performance.
Now,
I didn't get that.
It's okay. Let me.
I'll let you say your case.
It's one of those cases where I say weird, and maybe last episode I may have also said like a little off-putting or something. I've okay. Speaking of movies I've seen 4 times, I think I've seen The Fabelmans 4 times now. Okay. And my opinion has not changed with her performance. I think it's maybe weird's not the right word. I think it's odd in a way where she's not necessarily, I don't think she's necessarily doing an imitation of Steven Spielberg's mom, right? I think she's coming at it in a very peculiar, like very unique way of like, what would this character sound like? Oh, let me put my own Michelle Williams spin on it. So I don't know. I can't. I mean, the words I go to are odd, unusual, but not in a bad way. I just think, like, let's say if like Cate Blanchett were doing that role, Cate Blanchett would not choose that accent. It's a very Michelle Williams thing to do, to have her play it in that way. and I think it's all the better for it. Actually, I do love Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans, but I cannot deny it is a bit peculiar. So that's what I mean in the most pleasant way possible. I love her in that movie. I love The Fabelmans. It makes me cry every time I see it. But it's just something about that performance that just I'm like, huh, that's strange, but I love it. So that's my explanation on it.
So what I got out of the performance, so I connected to it pretty personally. I grew up in a household that's kind of broken, but still it was much less functional than this, where like I had an absentee father. I had a mother who was dealing with bipolar depression and would have these same kind of mood swings. And like it brought back childhood fear in me when Michelle Williams was when she was like having her severe mood swings, and like when she packs the kids in the car and like we're gonna do something impulsive, and then like she just shuts down like just a couple minutes into the drive and like starts to freak out, and like the kids don't really know what to do. Like that kind of stuff, it's very accurate to what happens with people like that. I think and I feel for her. Like I still felt for the character. I cared for Mrs. Fabelman. I don't know. I wanted her to find her peace.
Mitzi, I think her name is.
She has to deal with the kids demonizing her, and I felt for her because I think I connected to it personally, but Michelle Williams, she's such a warm actress, I think might be the right way to describe it, where it's just like she feels so sincere to me, and like everything about her. I don't know. I that's kind of what I got out of it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no, I get you. I understand you, Marcus. I see you. Yeah, and trust me, like
I am seen.
I can connect with it in personal ways too. Maybe not as personal as you, but her actions in particular, I feel are very real in that movie. And I'm sure it's based on Steven Spielberg's real life, and I'm sure a lot of it is based in reality. And those scenes where she does those manic things, I've known people who are like that too, and it's very honest and very real. And again, my only thing is, it's just, I think it's that accent. Maybe it boils down to that. It's just a little bit odd,
I guess.
But
I don't know. It didn't feel odd to me.
I know,
moment,
but hey,
I guess if I rewatched it, I would keep that in mind.
But again, let me reiterate. I love her in the movie. I love the movie itself.
Yeah,
it's like my number.
No, you're not taking anything away.
Number 4 of the year, but I mean, if she wins the Oscar, good for her. But I don't know. It's just a little bit odd that I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, good. I that's all I can say.
My number 2 is Gold Derby's number 8, A Rising Star. Ana de Armas in Blonde. You have not seen Blonde, right, Marcelo?
Nope, I have not seen Blonde. I do want to see Blonde. I know I should see Blonde.
Blonde is a wild fucking movie. It is everything you have heard it is. I really don't know what you'll think of it. It is fucked up, depressing, sad, horrific, like a really messed up movie that had a lot of controversy surrounding it. I think most of it is pretty overblown. I will say that Ana de Armas gives just an incredible capital A. I'm acting. Give 100% of her body is in this movie. She every single thing that she does, it feels so. She's perfectly portraying the character of Marilyn Monroe that people saw, while also playing the tortured Norma Jean, who again grew up with an even worse mother, a significantly worse mother than Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans, where Michelle Williams at least knows how to control herself most of the time. Her mother, Norma Jean's mother, was cruel beyond reason, but it's heartbreaking, it's sad, it's terrifying, it's scary. Yeah, and the movie is done in this like experimental, weird kind of way. It's 2.5 hours to it's close to 3 hours long, with without really a plot at all. It's kind of just disassembled scenes going through the life of Norma Jean, aka Marilyn Monroe, and like the isolation she feels in fame, and not ever finding anybody to really confide in, to fully trust, being scorned by basically everybody at every turn. And you see all of that on Arma de Armas's face, in her body, the way she moves, it's just everything. And then the movie has some real surreal elements that call for really over the top acting, and she does that just as well too. It's such an engaging performance. I started the movie at 1 a.m. On like a night that I had to wake up and work the next day, I think, and I could not turn it off because I was just so entranced by her and her performance. And I think it's a great movie, Marcelo. I cannot wait until you see it, because like either way you come down on it, I really am so curious to hear what you think.
Now, I'll say, and this comes as no surprise to people who listen to this show and know anything about me, if this were playing in a theater when it came out near me, I would have already seen it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I missed it in theaters, and if something's on streaming where it's readily available for me to see at home, I tend not to sit down and watch it, because that's just who I am. But I need to force myself to watch this. I do need to see it. It
would have been a very bonkers, experience in a theater.
Yeah.
Now, Marcelo, here's my challenge to you. Watch it before we get to our best films episode.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be talking about it again there. Just spoiler, it's in my top 10.
Yeah, down the road. I need to look at the schedule, but yes, but by the time the Best Picture episode comes along, yes, I will have seen it. And all right. And I'm sure you need to see some movies too, Marcus. I'm not going to force you to see anything, because I'm not that type of person. But I will forcibly watch Blonde for you, Marcus. Okay.
Okay, Marcelo. I watched Resurrection for this at your behest. But again, you did not force me. So look, if you want to force me into one, do it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a fair trade.
You know what? Let me think about it, because I think you've been very good, Marcus. And this is not. And this may seem.
I've been a good little boy.
That's exactly what I didn't want to say. I didn't want to sound that way. But let me rephrase and say, you're better than most, Marcus, when it comes to watching these great movies of the year that are, for the lack of a better word at this moment, like Oscar bait. But you just tend to watch movies because they're good and people say they're good. So you've crossed a lot off. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that you need to see right away. But finish Tar. That's not me forcing you to see it, but I'll finish Tar. Yeah, you're gonna finish watching it eventually. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm happy that you watched Fabelmans. I'm happy that you watched Glass Onion, and you even got ahead of me by watching Blonde. So you're doing good, Marcus.
Thank you for that recognition, Marcelo, because I do try.
Yeah.
I did try.
Yeah, there you go.
Especially for this. This put an extra pressure on me, and I like that extra pressure. Okay, my number one of the year. My number one favorite actress performance of the year is a child actress performance. My favorite child acting performance I've ever seen, frankly. Anna Cobb in We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Oh, yes.
This is it's hard for me to even talk about. I connected to this performance so vividly. She's like, the movie is like this. It's a crushingly accurate depiction of like a disaffected youth growing up in this internet age, where you have access to so much, but you still feel isolated. She's growing up in a broken home, and she doesn't seem to have any real life friends. So she turns to the internet. She turns to this World's Fair challenge, and which is supposed to change your body in certain ways. It's not very clear what is supposed to happen necessarily, but that things are supposed to happen to you. And she carries this like body horror feel with her, that like things are changing with her, that and you don't even necessarily know how to, if you're supposed to, if you can trust her at points. Like, she's really playing so many different emotions all at once of like isolated sadness, of boredom, of kind of like feeling like she finally found a place where she can express herself, but then it's kind of like warped and twisted, so you don't. So there's like a horror aspect to it, but you're always with her. I think, like, I'm always rooting for her, even though you think these fucked up things are maybe happening to her. Maybe they're not. I don't know. The movie is like just a big question mark. And everything about her just seems so authentic. Like, authentic's the word. It's felt like an extremely authentic movie. The movie's a trans allegory as well. So like, there's that reading to it, that the director has confirmed. God, it's so fucking good, man. It is so good. I wish I had the words to like speak on it more betterly. But Marcelo, maybe do you have those words?
I do.
What you think of Anna Cobb?
I do not. I do not. Unfortunately, I'm basically in agreement with you. It's hard to put into words, but I'll just say, I did mention this maybe a few episodes ago, that like seeing this in a theater with a room full of normals, I could just sense like a lot of people were just like put off by it, and I think purposefully so. It's like made to not be digested in a normal way. Yeah. And Anna Cobb as the lead, like she really holds the movie to like. Rarely have I seen like a lead performance from like an unknown, because I don't think she's been in anything like that prominent before this, right? Like, rarely have I seen a performance from somebody who I'm just like, oh, it's like, I don't know who this person is, but she can carry a movie, and I definitely want to see more of her, you know, in years to come. And what a breakthrough, not only for her but the director too. But yeah, excellent movie. That it's on HBO now still. As with this recording,
go to HBO Max. Yeah, I could not recommend this even more. Similarly to Blonde, this was a movie I started like at midnight or 1 a.m. or something, and was so captivated by it. And honestly, maybe not for Blonde. I would recommend to do that for Blonde, but I know that's a big ask. We're all going to the World's Fair. I'm not even sure if it's 90 minutes. I say start it late at night when you're feeling maybe a little drowsy, and I think that's the perfect way to watch that movie. Yeah, that gives you those. That the movie gives those feelings off.
And forget everything I said about, you know, seeing a movie in a theater and like paying attention to it. Like but because like we're all going.
Well, if you can't see it in the theater, do that.
Well, yeah, sure.
If you have to watch it on HBO.
But I'm saying we're all going to the World's Fair seems more like a experience at a home sort of movie, because I think that's thematically it plays a part of being alone online watching something, and watching and experiencing that thing.
She feels like she's staring in. She feels. God, as she's staring into her webcam for most of the movie, and it just feels like she's staring into you. Yeah, like it is such. Man, it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go. So what a list, Marcus. Great job as always.
Thank you.
Now, stunningly, we still have more things to talk about, because we gotta go to the Discord. We gotta open that Discord up.
To the Discord. Yes, we have the lovely Discord, Talk Film Society /Discord if you want to get in there. We have a great community, very active community. I'm very proud of it. I'm glad we have so many cool people in there talking about movies all the time.
Last week, we asked that question that we ask almost every week. On the topic, we go, hey, what's your favorite thing of the 2022? And the thing this past week was Best Lead Actress performances. So that's what they gave us, Marcus.
Yes.
So why don't we dig in? I think you're leading the way on this, right? Do you have the picks there at the ready?
Yeah, I've got the whole conversation pulled up. I can go through them. Let's do that. Let's just start doing it.
Yeah.
Our first person that responded, Rodders J 04. They said Anna Cobb in We're All Going to the World's Fair. Thank you. I appreciate it.
There you go.
That feels like a win for me.
Good job. Nice job, Marcus.
Yes. Not the Who's Tommy, host of Double Edge Double Bill here on the Talk Film Society Network, patreon.com/Double Edge Double Bill. Tommy says Cate Blanchett in Tar, Tong Wei in Decision to Leave, Maya Goth in Pearl, Kiki Palmer in Nope. He is very, very adamant that this is not a supporting performance, but just for our circumstances, we're considering her supporting, yes. I think, unless maybe you out there vote her into actress, I'm sure we would probably do it. But that's an executive decision that has to happen over here on TFS. We don't know. Michelle Yao in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So the only name here we haven't talked about is Tong Wei in Decision to Leave. I don't know if either of us have seen that.
Yeah, I have seen it, and I mentioned I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times in the last few episodes.
Well, look,
so thank you for listening, Marcus. Yeah, it's the new Park Chan-wook movie, and I think last time I brought it up was somebody put Tong Wei in the Best Supporting Actress category. And just so we can get out in the open, since you also brought it up with Kiki Palmer and Thomas shoving Kiki Palmer in the lead actress category. When it comes to the ballot for the Talk Film Society Awards, which I count every year, now we mostly, and I say me, the guy who counts the ballots. Now, I mostly go by Oscar guidelines, you know. Like if an actor or actress is placed in one category by the Oscars, then I tend to go that way. But I will also say this: it all depends on where people put certain actors in certain categories. If there's enough people who say Kiki Palmer is lead actress and she gets the votes, then she's in lead actress. If enough people say Tong Wei is supporting actress, she's in supporting actress. But if she gets enough votes for lead actress, there you go. And if the votes are split, where nobody knows where to put somebody, then I kind of shove them into the one where they get the most votes, comparing the two. Anyway, it's all, like you were saying, Marcus, before, it's all about the people and where they put the actors. But don't worry,
it's kind of like it's not a black and white decision. Like, it's not like, I mean, look, there are some that it's like, obviously Cate Blanchett is the lead actress of Tar.
Right.
But yeah, the Kiki Palmer being lead or supporting, I do see that either way.
Yeah, I will say Tong Wei is first billed on the Decision to Leave Wikipedia page, which I go by.
Okay.
So there's rest assured, people, if she gets nominated, I'm pretty sure she's going to be lead actress. So there you go. And by the way, Decision to Leave, very good movie. That makes my top. Like, I think that movie's in the top 30 of my top 2022 movies. That may seem low.
And that's, for Marcelo, that's a ton, because he sees like, what, 300 movies a year? New movies. Like, he'll see it all.
I don't know.
Except for Blonde.
Thank you, Marcus. I saw 620 movies overall last year. I don't know how many of those were 2022 movies, but it was a lot.
You're a warrior.
Yeah,
you're a badass
or a loser. But we can
on the front lines of film. Noah Thompson here, frequent poster. We have Rebecca Hall in Resurrection, Cate Blanchett in Tar, Frankie Corio in After Sun, which I would love to see. I have not seen it yet. Anna Cobb in We're All Going to the World's Fair. Thank you, sir. Regina Hall in Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. Which is, that's a weird one that kind of came out of nowhere. I do want to see it. I believe Regina Hall is good in it. I believe Noah when they say that. After Sun, have you seen either of those? After Sun or Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
Well, yeah, let's start with Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. That one, I've seen people mention that on Twitter and in the Discord, that movie in particular also kind of like surprised me. Because I mean, for those who've seen that trailer, it's like a mockumentary about like this married Christian couple.
At the trailer, but
I haven't seen it.
I'm curious about it, though.
I'm curious. I think it's on Peacock now. I love Regina Hall. I forget what other actors in it, but hey, I'll see a movie just for Regina Hall. I'm on board.
Sure.
Considering I think it's supposed to be like a comedy, then doubly so. I'll watch the movie. But yeah, it's on my radar. I'll watch it. After Sun, it's the one movie that I missed in 2022. My top 10 is finalized. I'm not going to go back on it. I'm very stern when it comes to finalizing a top 10 and saying, okay, if I haven't seen a movie by this certain dates, then sorry, other 2022 movies, you're not making it. After Sun, missed it. I still need to see it. It's on VOD. I'll see it eventually. I'm sure it's going to pick up some nominations at the Oscars. I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll say it now. I think it might be one of those where it'll be a sneaky one. It might be in the best picture category. It might be in the best actor category. It might be even like best cinematography, director. I think it's going to be one of those movies. It's going to be what's that one from last year that surprised everybody? The Japanese one. God, fuck. Why did I put my mouth? The 3-hour one that people went to go see because it was nominated for Best Picture. Drive My Car. That's it. Drive My Car, right?
Drive My Car. Oh, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Great movie. I'm with you on After Sun. I feel bad about not having seen it. I'm not as set in stone about things as you, Marcelo. You do not have to. Don't take my word here as gospel. I could easily change some stuff. But so like, look, I have not seen After Sun yet, but maybe don't be surprised if I have seen it and it ends up in my top 10. Like I believe every good word I've heard about it. It sounds like a really fantastic movie. Frankie Corio, I'm sure you're great.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll just close it off by saying yes. I'm sure we'll talk about After Sun more as this series goes on. But yeah, you can keep going.
Yeah, I will make that a priority for myself. Manish Mathur, our host on the Talk From Society podcast network of About to Be Queer Now. Great guy. Maya Goth, Kate Blanchett. He's playing more games with us. He's not giving the movies, but that's okay. Because I think these are all pretty easily guessable. Maya Goth for Pearl, Kate Blanchett for Tar, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere, Michelle Williams in The Fablemans, and Viola Davis for Woman King, I presume.
Yes.
I have not seen Woman King, but this is one that she's likely to get nominated, Marcelo. So, like, yes. Do you want to say anything about Viola and the Woman King?
Woman King makes my again. I do feel bad for making a top 40 of the year and saying something like The Woman King is like number 35. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
And it is going to get...
I know, but that's why I'm trying to say, like, it's... Marcelo sees so many movies that, like, top 40 is huge.
Yeah. And I totally agree. Viola Davis, she should get nominated. She's amazing in everything she's in particular, The Woman King. And I'm sure I said this in the Best Supporting Actress episode, but there are performances from... I believe her name is Leona Lynch. Like, she's incredible in The Woman King too. So at this point, I could see like The Woman King also getting a lot of nominations when it comes to Oscars. And Viola Davis, of course, like I said, she's always going to get nominated for great movies, and this is another one of those.
Yeah, and he says, Manish says, just to be different, he throws in Ali Abbat for Gangabai Kathiawadi, a movie that I did really want to see. Unfortunately, I missed it in the theater. I do not know where it's streaming. I'm sure it's somewhere. I believe Hulu and Netflix, they have a pretty solid Indian movie, a place to watch movies. But look, I believe it. Ali Abbat, I've heard a lot about her for years. I want to see that movie. Most Lawyerly James, Michelle Yeoh.
Hold on.
What's that?
Can I make a correction here? Lashana Lynch is who I meant to say from The Woman King.
Lashana Lynch, yes.
Her and Thusa Meduba, I believe, in the Best Supporting Actress category. Both great in The Woman King. There we go.
Good to know. Mostly Early James, Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Marcelo's favorite, Jessica Chastain in The Good Nurse. Anna Maria Bartolome in The Happening. Cate Blanchett in Tar. Danielle Deadwyler in Till. And Florence Pugh in The Wonder. Lot we have not mentioned here. Is there anything you want to say about any of those movies? Jessica Chastain in The Good Nurse. Anna Maria Bartolome in The Happening. Danielle Deadwyler. I've heard that name. I don't know if I know who she is.
Yeah.
Oh, until she's okay. I know who she is.
Yes.
And Florence Pugh in The Wonder. Anything you want to say about those people?
Happy birthday, Florence Pugh. On the day we're recording this, it is Florence Pugh's birthday.
Wow.
One of my favorite actresses working today. I don't know why I haven't seen The Wonder. I need to see it.
Totally agree.
Speaking of favorite actresses, I don't know why I haven't seen The Good Nurse, Jessica Chastain's movie. Although I will say, I saw fucking 3 Jessica Chastain movies in theaters in 2022. Okay, so give me some credit here. Okay,
she's been making the rounds. She's been doing kind of odd choices movies I don't necessarily want to see, but
look, okay.
But Marcelo, you are a devoted fan. You saw 3 in theaters. I don't even know what they are at all.
let's run them down real quick, okay? And I feel good about wasting time talking about Jessica Chastain because she won the Oscar last year for Best Actress, okay? So she deserves
as a Tammy Faye.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Sure, Tammy Faye may not have been the best thing she's ever done, but I'm glad she got the Oscar. You know, she should have won it 10 years ago for Zero Dark 30. As a matter. So I saw in theaters the 355, okay? Her action movie.
Okay, yeah.
That's like a Mission Impossible, like but with women.
That did look pretty solid.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's solid, but I mean, I'm glad I saw it. It's enjoyable enough. She's having a good time. Is it good? I don't know. Okay.
That's all that matters, though. Have a good time while you're here on this earth, Jess.
I mentioned this on a previous episode, Armageddon Time, which is a solid movie. I think fondly.
Oh, I didn't know she was in that.
I think fondly of that movie. You don't know she's in that because like she's. I think she's in the trailer for a second, and she's in the movie for literally like 2 minutes. It's a cameo.
Okay.
And she's playing a Trump. I think she's playing Donald Trump's sister in it or something, and she gives a speech at like a right-wing like conservative school. It's odd choice for Chastain, but whatever. It gets her a paycheck.
Okay.
And I saw maybe one of the. I should put this in my top movies of 2022, maybe in the top 50. The Forgiven. Okay. It's a movie that just sneakily came out in theaters in early 2022. It's written by a McDonough, John Michael McDonough, Martin's brother. And yeah, it's if you've seen John Michael McDonough's other movies, it's sort of similar because he also directed and wrote The Guard and Calvary. He sort of has his brother's flair for let's put these like interesting, like morally corrupt, possibly characters in these situations where they're essentially fighting for their lives and they have to make decisions. But it doesn't go how you expect, and that's what happens in The Forgiven. I think she's pretty good in it, and Ray Fiennes is actually great in it too. It's one that nobody's seen, I don't think, except for me, a Jessica Chastain devotee. But there you go. Sorry, I haven't seen The Good Nurse or whatever that's called. I saw 3 other ones.
Yeah, Marcelo. Nobody. I'm not one to tell you that you're not a good Jessica Chastain fan. You may be the best in the world.
Possibly.
Brendan on our Discord, he says Michelle Yeoh, everything. Viola Davis for The Woman King. Am I saying is it Viola or Viola?
I don't know actually. I
feel a little conscious about that.
I say Viola.
Okay. Well, whatever. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. He also brings up Amber Mid-Thunder and Prey, Tilda Swinton in 3,000 Years of Longing, and Janelle Monáe in Glass Onion. I want to mention Tilda Swinton here, 3,000 Years of Longing. I really dug that movie. Her performance wasn't my favorite part of it, because I feel like she's kind of playing the straight woman to the far more interesting Idris Elba. But what's that matter? She's still really good in it, and you need a character that you can buy their romance, and I totally did buy it. So yeah, she's totally good in that movie. I know you weren't the biggest 3,000 Years of Longing fan, Marcelo, but Tildy, you like old Tildy?
Hey, I'm a huge Tilda Swinton fan. I'll say this: I don't know if anybody's going to mention this. I haven't looked into the future in the Discord picks, but I'll say Tilda Swinton gives an amazing performance in Eternal Daughter, a movie that came out this past year. So and also she gives a great performance in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So I'm all on board for Tilda Swinton, and I definitely need to rewatch 3,000 Years of Longing. I may have seen that movie in a bad mood, and I need to give it another shot. I love Tilda Swinton, I love Idris Elba, and I love George Miller.
Yep. Okay, so Ben Miller, he says Cate Blanchett in Tar, Daniel Deadwyler in Till, Tong Wei, Decision to Leave, Taylor Russell, Bones and All, Rebecca Hall, Resurrection. Taylor Russell in Bones and All, very close to my honorable mentions. She's the one that got cut last. Man, Bones and All is such a weird movie. Marcelo, you put Mark Rylance into your best supporting actor.
Yeah.
I believe we talked a little bit about Timothée Chalamet and our best actor performance. Taylor Russell, probably my favorite performance of the movie. An unknown to me. I don't know if she was fully unknown, but she's definitely an unknown to me. And I bought her love story with Timothée Chalamet. They had really good chemistry. It is a performance that is truly shocking at times. She's very good in the movie, and we have another chance to talk about Danielle Deadwyler for Till if you would like.
I'll say about Taylor Russell. I loved her in Bones and All. Bones and All, and I'll say I'm gonna keep going back to my top list because I just finalized it, like I said, so I know where things are right now. Bones and All is my number 25 of the year. I fell in love with it on a second watch, and I think the only reason she didn't make my list of best lead actresses is because I don't know, it's one of those performances that's deceptively, it looks so breezy and sort of she just feels so natural in that role, she just kind of disappears into that role rather than a Mark Rylance who is showy as fuck and really does some weird shit in it. I guess that's where
even Timothée Chalamet is that's another performance that's I'm not the Timothée Chalamet that you know.
Yeah. But Taylor Russell, you need that in that movie because she's more reserved and more finding herself as a person in that character, and she may not get these big meaty scenes, but she's all important, and she's the reason why that movie is so great. Because this is stupid to say because she's the heart of that movie. But yeah, she's good, and I can't believe you haven't seen her in Escape Room, Marcus. You haven't seen Escape Room?
Oh, she is in the Escape Room. Yes. I have seen her. And I like Escape Room a lot. That's one of my favorite types of movies is just get a bunch of people in a place and fuck with them. Yeah. I like that stuff. She's good in that. Now you say it, I immediately remember her.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Jessica Scott, she says... she'll add. She said she wants to add. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this name.
Noomi Rapace.
Naomi Rapace. You Won't Be Alone. No clue.
I believe You Won't Be Alone. We may have talked about this off mic, but You Won't Be Alone is one of those weird movies that I think you tried to watch and then stopped in the first act. It's that body swapping movie.
Dude, that is that movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm with Jessica here. That's yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I guess that's. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler. It's a body swapping movie about witches, shot like a Terrence Malick movie. And I can see why. It says here, Jessica Scott says it's a tricky one to assign lead to, because the lead character in that. This is kind of a spoiler. It doesn't matter though. It's a good movie. I recommend it. Yeah, the lead character jumps from person to person, and Noomi Rapace is one of those people. But no, I mean it's a good movie, and I think Rapace is good in it. So it's a good pick.
Yeah, geez, I did not recognize the title, but yeah, great pick, Jessica.
And
Jen,
I'll say this
real
quick. This is referring to an off-mic conversation. I think I mentioned to you that title is a bad title for that movie. You Won't Be Alone. They should have called it something else.
It is. It's a bad,
or
a bad title.
My suggestion: change the title to Witch Switch. Anyway, continue.
Okay, Jen. They say Tong Wei in Decision to Leave, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere, Maya Goth in Pearl/X, and she says, I assume Kate for Tar, even though I haven't seen it yet. That's a safe assumption. Great performance.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
Sam Shot First, host of Keanu Believe It here on the Talk Film Society Network. Zoe.
No, I know that's wrong. I think it's Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, it is Zoe Kravitz in Kimmy. Sigourney Weaver in Avatar 2. Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere. Tilda Swinton in 3,000 Years. And Michelle Williams in The Fablemans. We got two very interesting ones to talk about here. Where do you want to start? Avatar, I have not seen, or Kimmy?
Let's quickly say Sigourney Weaver in Avatar 2. We talked about Sigourney Weaver, I think, in best that episode where I brought up Avatar. I did say, you know what? I kind of hope I see Sigourney Weaver pop up and get a nom for Avatar 2, because I think she does interesting, weird work in it. I guess that's the thing I want to get out there.
Is she the lead?
But here's the thing.
Would you call her a lead?
Here's the thing. I'll just say, Marcus already knows this about me. Listeners, you're getting the sense. I like weird performances. Okay? Sigourney Weaver is definitely a weird one, but I say she's supporting though. She's the supporting actress in that movie. I don't see her as the lead.
Okay.
It's really hard to say there's a lead. I guess you could say Zoe Saldana is the lead actress in Avatar 2, even though she doesn't get to do much in Avatar 2, which is a shame. The true lead of that movie is fucking Sam Worthington. But it is made up of a great ensemble.
Jake Sully.
Yeah, good old Jake Sully, who is TikTok's golden boy at this point. Like, people are thirsting over Jake Sully. Yeah. Hey, for all those idiots on Twitter right now saying Avatar 2 is not making a cultural impact, open up your TikTok app. Look at all these thirst trap tweets. Sorry, these thirst trap fan cams that people are making for Jake fucking Sully. All right? Get your life together, folks who don't know what's going on for people thirsting over Jake Sully, all right? The cultural footprint is there.
Talk to somebody that's like not on the internet a ton. Like, just talk to anybody. I'm sure they've seen the movie.
But anyway, yeah.
But hey, let's talk about Zoe Kravitz and Kimmy. Huh?
Yes, excellent performance, I think. Kimmy is in my top 10. I do feel bad that I don't have her on my list, because it may be the best I've seen her in. Maybe the best performance I've seen of Zoe Kravitz. I love Zoe Kravitz a lot.
I kind of agree.
Because like she's again, it's like it is reserved at times, but then like when it's time to act, you know, and at certain points in the movie, she really goes for it. Because she's like, what's the word where somebody doesn't like leaving their house? She's playing one of those characters.
Agoraphobic.
Yeah, she has agoraphobia. But no, I love that movie. It plays up like it's like Rear Window sort of aspects, very Hitchcockian. But she's an excellent lead.
Yeah, Kim. I agree with you. Kimmy is a totally solid movie. It's one of those that like I wish I could have put it into my top whatever list. I think I put out a 12. I wish I could have put it up there because I think it's just a very cool movie. I dig what Soderbergh's doing, man. I really do. And Yeah, Kravitz is fantastic. She holds that movie on her shoulders, and she sells the paranoia of it all and the thriller aspects, and like she kind of takes a turn into be like a little bit of a badass near the end, and you fully buy it. And it's still in kind of a timid way, but very very good performance, very good movie. Kimmy is one I will think on fondly for the years to come. Jay McMillan, he says Kate Blanchett in Tar, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere, Daniel Deadweiler in Till, Regina Hall. We have a second Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul nom. Maya Goth in X/Pearl, and Jenny Slate in Marcel the Shell with shoes on this. God, I wish I'd seen this movie. I have not seen it yet. I'm hoping it'll end up on a streaming service. I don't want to pay $25 for it as much as I want to see it. As much like I was a fan of those videos like 15 years ago or whenever the hell they were put on YouTube, and like I wish I had seen this movie, and I love Jenny Slate, and it's like such a cute little character. I totally see why this would be on somebody's list. Marcelo, go.
I love Marcel the Shell with shoes on. I don't think I told this story, but I saw this. I may have said I've seen this at South by, sure, right? But I came in.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about those shorts because I had seen them 10 years ago. But before seeing the movie, I completely forgot about him. So I came in blind, and also was just blown away by how cute, how adorable the whole movie is, and how heartbreaking it is, how sweet and hopeful, and how tragic. And yeah, it's Jenny Slate's vocal performance that really elevates that whole thing. I can't see anybody else doing that as well as she can. That weird little Marcel the Shell voice. So yeah, I can totally see Jenny Slate.
And tell the folks how much you loved this performance, Marcelo.
How much I love it?
The lengths you went to.
Oh, okay. I did buy. I see it now on my desk. I bought a Marcel the Shell porcelain figure from the A24 shop.
The thing's goddamn adorable. Yeah. I want to buy that. I want to get it.
Yeah, I'm opening up now because I like to keep him in the box. But yeah, he's a little tiny figure that I think is like true to scale. So yes, I have a little Marcel the Shell guy who I keep in this little box that's shaped like a matchbox. So yeah, that's how much I love Marcel the Shell.
Adorable. Okay, Adam, the other host of Double Edge Double Bill, along with Tommy. Adam says Maya Goth in Pearl and Tilda Swinton in 3,000 Years. Keeps it short and sweet. We got the real Matt C, another host on our network. The real Matt C, Matt Carrione, your former co-host of Hey, What Are We Watching This Year?
Yeah.
And then the current host of Monsters Never Die, our most popular podcast.
Sure.
Kate Blanchett, that's not a joke. Kate Blanchett in Tar, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Michelle Williams in Fabelmans, Kiki Palmer in Nope, and Zoe Saldana in Avatar.
There we go.
No surprises there, except for maybe Zoe Saldana is a little bit of a left field pick.
Well, okay. I'll say that the real Matt C, Matt Creon, he loves Avatar, full on. I mean...
Oh, yeah. He's all over it.
He's a big Avatar stan.
God bless him for it.
I mean, we all should be as big fans as Avatar as Matt Creon is, right? But I'll just say my point, like I said earlier. Sure, Zoe Saldana is the lead actress, but I just wish the movie gave her more to do. But there are at least like 2 or 3 scenes. Well, I just say one in particular where it really showcases like how amazing Zoe Saldana is in that role. And sure, like I'll say, yeah, if you want to look at that scene in particular, she does amazing work in it. But I'll just say again, I wish the movie gave her a little bit more to do. But that's it.
Great. And our final one here. Wait, no. Never mind. Matt ended it. We're done.
Yeah.
But I'll just on our Best Actor episode, not the Who's Tommy again, from Double Edge Double Bill. He did not submit a thing for that, but he comes back and rectifies himself. He said Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, Daniel Kaluuya in Nope, Gabrielle LaBelle in Fabelmans, which I've seen that now, and absolutely, that kid's fantastic. Great,
he's so good.
Great child performance. Austin Butler in Elvis, and Ram Charan in RRR, which a great one. Another great one.
Yeah.
So Look, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, everybody who submitted. Again, if you want to join the Discord, talkfilmsociety.com/Discord, or just reach out to any Talk Film Society members. I'm sure we can get you in there. Very cool place. Want more cool people in there always. Marcelo, take it away.
That's it, folks. We've reached the end of this episode, I think. I'm glad we ended up splitting this in half. Because look at the runtime of this episode in particular. It's the longest one yet. So thank you, Marcus, for tapping out last week. Because imagine if we ended up doing another hour of talk last week.
Yeah, what if we did this on top of that other episode?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
You would have been miserable.
Look, that just goes to show like how strong this category is this year. I wanted to talk at length about all these about all these performances. I'm glad I did tap out because like I didn't have the juice to do it last week. And I'm glad we got to do it now because, you know what? You lovely leading ladies, you knocked it out of the park this year, dears.
And I'm glad, Marcus, you have the juice.
Good job.
I'm glad, Marcus, you have the juice. And now we can say the juice is loose. So thanks, listeners. Thank you, Discord folks. Like Marcus was saying, go to talkfilmsociety.com/Discord to join, vote in the Talk Film Society Awards. The ballot is now open. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/Discord. No, go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards to vote. patreon.com/talkfilmsociety for bonuses. That's it from me. I guess if Twitter's still around, go follow Talk Film Society on there at TalkFilmSOC. Marcus, anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Had a fun time, Marcelo. Can't wait until we do this next week with our next category. Do you want to say what that is now?
No.
Great. We'll decide what that is, and then we'll see you next week with that new category. Get your votes in, folks.
Get your folks. Get ready.
Follow me on Twitter at Junkblader. What do I care? Let's go. Take it away, Marcelo. Finish her off.
So, hey, until next time, I'll see you at the movies. No one ever say that. All right, bye.